Soulframe, the new game coming out from Warframe developers. Warframe, not a game I've really put a vast amount of time into, just not really my speed. It's one of those where it's probably great if you were playing from the very beginning, and then obviously you've kept up with everything. But I feel like there's a lot of games now, you know, these live service games that you sort of talk yourself out of playing, even if you might have fun, because there's so much stuff that's in the game that you don't know. A lot of people say you join Warframe and basically you get into missions in multiplayer and people are running ahead of you, doing all the stuff, and you're just sort of, you know, running along like a level 1 to a level 100 while they get to play the game and have fun with their optimized stuff and you're just kind of clueless in the back. So I've never really touched it. But Soulframe, another game that they're making, 4 minutes of gameplay here apparently, and we're going to watch it. And then we're going to look at the MMORPG subreddit comments, because they're always funny. So let's go.
Making a bad decision and showing you
The
our
publisher
process.
would go, what are you doing?
And yeah,
But we are the publisher.
showing you behind the curtain, and Scott's going to just go through and fight.
Is this
through everything.
in-game?
I think that'll kind of be it.
Damn.
No pressure, Scott.
No pressure. It's fine.
Fantastic looking game,
From here, right?
art-wise. Every time I say that, somebody comes in and goes, Unreal Engine 5, everything looks good now. I guess we'll just say nothing ever looks good then. I don't know why I'm throwing that shot in there.
Yeah, do it.
Looks nice. Lighting effects look nice. Ambience, cool. Not really getting the MMO vibe from this though. Although, if it's anything like Warframe, it'll be MMO light, I guess. What's the accepted term we're using nowadays? Combat looks cool.
That was for death.
Although it's kind of difficult sometimes when developers show gameplay, because developers generally don't play games in the same way you would normally play a game. They're sort of presenting how it best looks, as opposed to how most people would engage with it. AI seems a little bit not good, shall we say. Pretty easy so far. Nice animations though, nice sound, hit sound. Sort of reminds me of a Souls game. I mean, it's literally called Soulframe, but it does remind me of a little twinge of a Dark Souls game. What? Is he just throwing a bird at him? His sword's on fire. The AI seems pretty lackluster at this stage. It's like a fight in an 80s movie or something. Everyone's crowded around in a circle and they're just coming into the action star one by one.
I haven't even got hit yet. I'm impressed.
Mixed with Black Desert Online, where the enemies are attacking where you were like 30 seconds ago. But aside from that, looks cool. And those are things that can obviously be fixed. It's clearly not a finished game. Oh, so they actually do have abilities and stuff. Just doesn't seem massively engaging. I'd prefer the slow, methodical sort of style to what Warframe looks like when you see a good player play Warframe. I think that's a little bit over the top for me
Oh, I got hit.
Don't worry, I turned
nowadays.
Good, I need it.
So I do prefer this sort of style. But it looks a little bit rough. Not to pick too much fault, but obviously we're going to have to say what we think. The enemy design in terms of the aesthetics looks fantastic. Really suits the game world.
Get him.
Oh. He's getting mad.
What the numbers in the bottom right for?
Oh, that was sweet.
There we go, is that it? Are we done? Oh, it literally was a bird he was throwing at him. I was joking.
Good job, Scott.
There's even a bird on the fucking logo.
No pressure with the gameplay, right?
I'd laugh if he was just like a Kotaku journalist and he just died repeatedly on that and just looked awful. Let's look at the comments, because this is originally where I saw this and I was like, I'll probably cover this just as a throwaway to have a laugh real quick. The comment section, for some reason, it's about Soulframe, not a crowd-funded game, a game from a well-established studio. And the top comment, this is the MMO subreddit all over, the top comment is just throwing shade at another random MMO for no reason whatsoever. Although there are some good points being made here, I'm sure. So, top comment, if this is an early alpha, then what the hell is Ashes of Creation? I don't see any $500 Founders Packs for Soulframe either. Hopefully it ends up a good game. That was all you needed there to just, react to the trailer in any kind of way. But this is obviously somebody who is a little bit ass mad about Ashes of Creation, which, to be fair, there are reasons to be ass mad about Ashes of Creation, because I've had so much fatigue with that game, and every time I see it, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like, I stopped covering it probably a year ago, because it's just, my brain can't just sit there taking in all this information before a game. It's basically information overload, because I don't even know if the game's going to be good or if I'm going to play it. And then I'm intaking all this useless stuff that's totally subject to change. And then obviously all the cosmetics and stuff and the $500 Founders Packs. I just don't want to keep up with it anymore. Basically, just wake me up when September comes. And then obviously somebody comes in with a correct comment here. They are an established studio with a successful live service game. And all they showcased was a single character swinging a sword for a minute while the enemy's guarded most of the time. What are you talking about? Unless you confused Warframe gameplay with the Soulframe preview. And then, of course, another comment, AOC lives rent-free in so many people's heads. Lol. True. Now, obviously, talking about a live service game that's already been made where the developers are well-established and have a whole bunch of money, making an MMO and releasing a couple minutes worth of gameplay and saying like, oh, they're not selling $500 Founders Packs. They're not the same thing, are they? Ashes of Creation is, I know people also get mad about this statement, a crowd-funded game. Not entirely, obviously, but quite a bit of their revenue is coming from crowdfunding. That's why they're constantly selling these terrible cosmetics. And obviously, Ashes of Creation has shown vastly more than what Soulframe has. Whether you like it or not is a completely different conversation, but they have shown way more than this game has. AOC has some okay-ish combat, haven't they? I think they did like 2 combat streams. But yeah, generally, I'm quite skeptical about AOC as well. You should be. The things that make me somewhat hopeful is seeing their early tests with large amounts of players not lag/frame skip like WoW or Guild Wars 2 does, and the initial combat animations being quite nice. This is basically like the reasonable take. This is what everybody looking at Ashes of Creation should be saying. You be skeptical about it because there's good reasons to be, but the good thing about Ashes of Creation is they have great networking by the look of it. It seems like when they've done the large-scale siege tests and stuff, the game ran flawlessly. It ran really, really well. In terms of the combat animations, they're way over the top for me, but tune in for that stuff comes in later. I watched the most recent gameplay for it, and it was so in your face, so over the top, that I really couldn't get along with it. But it does make me laugh that even I've done it now. We're reacting to Soulframe gameplay, and we're just talking about Ashes of Creation, completely unrelated. So let's look at some of the comments that are actually about the game. Cute MMORPG getting upset about this game for no reason. True. We've already seen that one. Has it been confirmed this is a full persistent world MMO as opposed to Warframe's more lobby-based structure? They have said the aim is open world, but asked for specifics way too early. That's interesting then. Because this trailer we just watched didn't give me the vibes of an open world game. With just how it's set out. Maybe, but I would imagine they're going to do the same thing as Warframe, where they basically put a cap on areas. If that is indeed how Warframe works, I'm fairly sure it is, but again, not the biggest expert on that game. Yeah, so here's a comment. Given Warframe's track record with open world, there's still ambiguity whether they mean regular MMO open world, shared style world, or enormous instance for your team. Companies say open world, but they generally just mean the space where gameplay takes place. I think it's pretty disingenuous if you say, as a developer, like, oh yeah, it's going to be an open world MMO, and then it's just a big open space. I think that's a little bit disingenuous marketing, to be honest. But yeah, I won't keep you for too long on this one. Just wanted to look at this because Warframe is a big game. A lot of people play it. A lot of people really like it. And they seem to have done well with their community in terms of consistently releasing content, and people are still enjoying the game now, and it's gone from strength to strength. So seeing them make another game, another, hopefully what is more of an MMO than what Warframe is. I'm excited to see it, and this does look promising. I wouldn't say this is on the top of my list of games I want to play right now, but at least they're not asking for anybody's money, and they're probably going to deliver this. So keep an eye on it, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace out.